If I was starting again today, the first thing that I would do is...
Jared did £4 million and Adam quit his job, and they all started by...
There's one mistake that we see beginners make that almost guarantees that they'll...
You don't need 40 hours a week. You don't even need 10, but
if you've got just 1 or 2 hours a day with the right system, you can...
We've now had over 3,000 people go through this model, and what we've noticed is the most successful ones will...
If you're looking to start a profitable e-commerce business this year, but you're feeling overwhelmed about the amount of conflicting advice out there, you're very much not alone. I've generated over £5 million in e-commerce sales, and through our programs, we've helped thousands of people now across the UK build successful online businesses using a proven step-by-step system. Collectively, our members at Dropship Unlocked have now generated over 8 figures in revenue. And today, we're pulling back the curtain to answer the most frequently asked questions we get from our listeners, the real practical things that people want to know before they get started. So whether you're short on time, if you're not sure where to begin, or you just want to make sure you're taking the right first steps, this episode will give you the clarity and confidence to start your own successful e-commerce business.
Perfect. Excited for this one, Lewis? That's right. We're going to be answering some of the most frequently asked questions that we have received from listeners over the years to put it all into one podcast episode. So the amount of value in this one is going to be huge. So, Lewis, one of the most common things, the most common concerns that we hear from people, they say, I want to start dropshipping. I can see all the benefits, but I just don't know if I have the time to dedicate to get a business set up. Can you reassure them?
Absolutely. Look, you don't need 40 hours a week to dedicate to this, at least not when you get started. Many of our members build their stores alongside full-time jobs that they already have, or maybe it's family commitments. So what I'd recommend is if you can carve out, say, 1 or 2 hours per day, at least a few days a week, you can make significant progress with just a couple of focused hours every day. If you can follow a proven system as well, like our step-by-step system is designed to fit around your schedule without overwhelming you, it's going to set you up with such a clear path that you're not going to be guessing. And the biggest bit of advice I'd give is try and just prioritize being consistent over being perfect. It's much, much easier to just take small, consistent actions that lead to those big results over time, rather than trying to be perfect from the outset.
Agreed. I started with just 1 to 2 hours per day while I was doing it alongside my 9-to-5 job initially. And then I was able to leave the job after some time of generating consistent sales. And now I can put whatever time I want to put into it. But initially, 1 to 2 hours a day. And it made such a difference that I had the masterclass to follow, Lewis, the program, because I didn't have to find out what I was going to do. I just needed to follow the steps. So I was that much quicker to get into it every day. So I had 1 to 2 hours of productivity rather than 1 to 2 hours of trying to work out what to do next. And that makes a huge difference. Now, something else we need to overcome, Lewis, we get questions from people a lot saying that they don't feel like they're tech savvy enough to start an e-commerce business. So can you break that down for us?
Yeah, it's a very common concern. We hear this a lot. I can tell you right now that you don't need to be a technology expert to make this work. And we make it very easy for beginners, people with no tech experience. So whether that's our step-by-step over-the-shoulder style tutorials, when I say over the shoulder, it's like you're literally sitting at the desk next to me, looking over my shoulder at my screen, following what I do. We provide very easy to follow video guides for every single step of the process. We also have support for you at every single stage as well. So if you can use a laptop and just follow instructions, you'll be good to go. You don't need to learn like coding or any complex tools. Our systems are really designed for simplicity. We want you to have a simple business that you can enjoy running, where you don't get lost in all the technology, so you can focus on what matters most, which is growing your business and freeing up your time so that you have that time freedom, that location freedom to be able to step back from the business and not get lost in the intricacies of technology. So yeah, absolutely, you don't need a huge amount of technology expertise or experience to get started with this.
We're very fortunate in the age that we live in today. The reality is we've had people from all different backgrounds join and succeed in the program. And that's down to a lot of the fact that the tools that we use nowadays are so intuitive. They've been finely tuned to be very easy to start using, whether that's Shopify or Google Ads, anything that we use now, they've been changed to be nice and simple for the end user. And that's huge. And then also all the videos that we watch to learn how to do everything step by step. Before I met you for the first time, Lewis, I felt like I'd spent hours with you, felt like I knew you as a friend already. And that's just because of how much in-depth content there was that I watched of you before meeting you. So it's a bit surreal meeting you for the first time. But yeah, the next thing that we want to talk about today is that a lot of listeners are concerned about extra costs. So something to discuss today is, say somebody comes to you and they say, what's it actually going to cost to start? And is there any extra costs that I need to be aware of? Where would you start with that? And how would you advise people can manage these expenses when they start out?
Yeah, I hear this a lot. This is a common question that we get. The good news is that starting out, it doesn't require you to have a massive budget, certainly not compared to a traditional brick and mortar business. And what I would recommend is start out with a modest budget. So many of our members begin with as little as £30 per day for their marketing. So, they are allocating some money towards that advertising budget when the time comes, but it's not going to break the bank. And remember, selling high ticket products, if you sell a product for £2,000 at a 30% margin, that's £600 in profit from one sale. Think how many days of your ad spend that then covers without you having to worry about ad spend anymore, and generate more and more of those sales in the meantime. So that's why starting with a modest budget works. And I say £30 a day, that is a modest budget in comparison to the kind of sales revenue that you can create from selling high ticket products using our home turf advantage model. Try and avoid using unnecessary software as well. Just focus on the tools that are essential for your growth at the beginning. You can always tack on these kind of bells and whistles later if you want to, but to start with, to get you to the point of generating revenue, replacing your income, there's no need to overspend on fancy tools at the beginning. It's just a distraction. And just try and keep your costs low and manageable. I mean, we teach you how to scale up efficiently at a positive return on ad spend without burning a hole in your wallet, so that you should do it incrementally and eventually get to the point where you have a really sustainable business that pays for your lifestyle.
That's right. When I was following the program, Lewis, something that you made very clear was that we can do this on a very lean budget. And you never told us to invest in any really expensive tools. It was just exactly what we needed to get started and start generating revenue as quickly as possible. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits of dropshipping, is the fact that it's so low cost to get started. We don't need to invest in stock or any physical locations or staff or anything like that. We can start with just a laptop or a tablet and start running ads with very low cost. It's incredible, actually, the business model. Something else to discuss today as we're going through these FAQs is a lot of people, they are questioning basically, who are we when they first come across us, and why should we trust Dropship Unlocked to learn how to start dropshipping? So what can you tell somebody that's listening today and they want to find out how trustworthy basically is the program and Dropship Unlocked?
Yeah, it's funny. I was speaking to some of our members at our live meetup that we run for our Dropship Unlocked members. We do these like quarterly live in-person meetups. And one of them was like, I didn't realize you were a real person. Like when they met you and I at the meetup, they were like, I thought you guys might be like AI generated simulations or something. And it's funny, in this day and age, I guess you don't know who you can trust. There's so many weird things online, but yeah, we're very much real. We exist in the 3-dimensional world as well as just on the screen. And yeah, we have hundreds and hundreds of verified reviews now, both on Trustpilot, on Google Business, from members of our program across the UK. If you go to dropshipunlocked.com/reviews, you can read some of the things that people say. You can check out our YouTube channel. We've got a whole playlist on there of reviews from members that have been through the program. I think unlike other programs, most of our members are UK based and they're building successful businesses here. They're not just learning the theory. We also just like to be fully transparent. Like we do live store review calls as well, where we will dive into someone's store and we'll actually kind of help them make optimizations within their own store to make it better. And doing like member case study interviews that we've done on the podcast as well. We've put out well over 100 podcast episodes now. I think we're up to like episode 145 at this rate. So yeah, I mean, by this amount of time, if you've watched 145 episodes of us on the podcast, hopefully we've given you enough value to see that we at least know what we're talking about. We're both still doing this ourselves. We're running these types of e-commerce businesses. So we've got skin in the game. It keeps us sharp and it holds us accountable as well, running a community like Dropship Unlocked, in that we want to know what's happening, what's at the forefront of e-commerce, because things change, things move around. And that's why we love doing it. And I think that's why we get such great feedback from our members as well, because they can feel that and they can see us and chat to us. We do twice weekly live Q&A calls and collaboration calls and our live meetups inside the program. Like, we're there. We're not the kind of people that talk about this and then when you get on the inside, we're nowhere to be seen. Like, we're interacting every day with our community because they're great, like-minded people.
Yeah, that's the key to finding in today's day and age. It's something that really appealed to me to join the program was that you weren't flashing a Lamborghini behind you or in like a Dubai penthouse and like it kind of feels a bit shady, a bit like cigar in the mouth kind of marketing tactics. But no, it's the opposite to that. It's real people doing the same businesses. I've learned through the program and I now do the coaching calls to help out with people that are in the same shoes that I was in not too long ago. And we just want to build a fantastic community of ambitious people that are willing to do the hard work to build a sustainable e-commerce business. Now, for anyone that's actually considering whether they can trust dropshipping as a business model, we've got lots of member examples, haven't we? I think that's a good way of kind of validating that dropshipping is still working today.
Yeah, it's such a shame because dropshipping gets this like taboo reputation because of all of the low ticket, low barrier to entry, i.e. anyone can just kind of throw up a quick Shopify store and then link it to AliExpress and, call themselves a business owner. But then that leads to all kinds of problems down the line. If you know anything about the Home Turf Advantage model, which is our trademarked model, you know that that's not what we do. It's not what we recommend. We advocate for partnering with real brands here in the UK who can distribute products directly to your customers and where you can make £200, £300, £400, £500 in profit on a single transaction, on a single sale. That is worlds apart from like selling £20 fidget spinners from China that take 4 months to get to a customer and arrive broken in a crumpled up little package with a customer demanding a refund the whole time that it's in transit. Like, they're such different business models, but unfortunately they kind of both fall under the same banner of like dropshipping. Because the thing about dropshipping is that as a business model, it's existed since before the internet. Like, you bought something like a garden patio, huge furniture set from the Argos catalog, if anyone's old enough to remember what that was before the days of the internet, then the likelihood is that huge patio furniture set probably wasn't sitting on a shelf in the Argos warehouse. It may have just come from the manufacturer. And Argos would have been the retailer. They took in the money from you, the customer, and then they just paid the trade price. So whatever the lower price that they get charged was to their manufacturer, who then just sent it straight out to you, the customer. You probably wouldn't have even known that. You'd have just seen a box arrive and been like, great, patio furniture's here, because you got the service that you purchased. So I think that's the thing to remember. Like, companies like Wayfair.com, huge, like very, very successful brand, they are predominantly a dropshipping retailer. Like, lots of big companies use this as a fulfillment model. They might just not call it dropshipping. Perhaps they call it like direct dispatch or something like that. It's like these direct from manufacturer. So that's the first differentiation when you're thinking, can I trust dropshipping? Like, don't just look at the taboo kind of parent level of that. Look at like, well, can I trust it as a business model? Like, basically, can I trust that it works? And you only have to look down the high street at some of the brands I mentioned, like Argos or John Lewis or Tesco. Like, a lot of these big retailers do use it for certain products, not all their products, but for some. The other thing that you can dive into is like what the members that have worked with us have experienced as a result of doing this. So we've got lots of not just like kind of short videos, but like long form conversations with members of our community who've achieved incredible results with this. Like, just a few examples of people that you could watch episodes of on our YouTube channel are like Jared, for example, who was a member that joined us and has now done over £4 million in sales with a Home Turf Advantage dropshipping store. Then you got Adam, who made over £300,000 in less than a year in sales from his business and then used it to quit his job. Like, that was a great story. Adam's now in our mastermind and is someone that we speak with regularly. Mason made over £70,000 in his first few months running ads on his business. And I believe was he 18 when he joined the program, or 19?
18. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, we've got members from all different walks of life, from different backgrounds. We've got like nurses, we've got people who work in construction, we've got people in the trades, we've got people with professional backgrounds, people who've never had a job and they're fresh out of uni. Like, you can make this work if you commit to it, if you are if you're coming into this like a sponge, ready to just absorb knowledge and just follow a proven process, you can absolutely make it work. And hopefully watching some of those videos, those long form member interviews, will inspire you and build that belief that this is a proven business model. This existed long before the internet, long before the guys in Lambos in Dubai were shouting about it. Like, this is something that is real, and I can absolutely do it too, especially if I serve a demographic in the UK that are affluent, that have money, that can pay for these types of products. Like, you don't need to be your own target customer. Remember that as well. Like, just because you wouldn't go out and buy maybe a sofa for $3.5 grand doesn't mean there's not someone out there that would. Just because you're not a barbecue enthusiast that would spend £2,000 on a barbecue doesn't mean there's not a guy down the road that would. This is the thing. You have to kind of remove yourself from the demographic and remind yourself you are the retailer. You're serving a customer demographic, but you don't have to be that customer demographic. And I think that then opens up your mind to the possibilities and the level of demand that's out there for your products. And we obviously validate that with you inside week 2 of the program to ensure that what you sell is in demand and that customers want it already.
Exactly. And all the conversations you mentioned there, the long form conversation with Jared, Adam, Mason, Suraj, the list goes on the YouTube channel. They all go to show that they followed a path and they've got the results after following the same path that somebody else has done. And if you want to hear about member success stories or find out what it's like to go through the program, the podcast is there. I'm a member myself. I was a member. I now help with the coaching, but I'm on 145 episodes of the podcast. So if that's not enough content to hear from somebody who's been through the same footsteps, then I don't know what will be. But yeah, I've got a story to share. It wasn't too long ago that I was just dreaming of location, time, financial freedom when I was stuck in a unfulfilling 9-to-5 job. And I just wanted to have my own business that I could run from anywhere in the world and allow me to live a life of way more freedom than I had when I was in that 9-to-5 job. So yeah, it's there for you as an opportunity to grab hold of with 2 hands if you're ready to go for it. Now, success is there for all to see, I'd say, Lewis. So for those people that are feeling like on the fence, is there anything that you'd like to say to push them over the fence or get them to take action when they're maybe holding themselves back?
I think, yeah, if you're the kind of person that benefits from seeing others do it, do go through some of those case study videos, do watch them, do absorb that content, because it's kind of like osmosis. Like, you'll start to just absorb that belief from other people. You get to borrow the courage from others that have taken the leap that you're considering, or maybe about to take, and watch videos. Like, I was chatting to someone at our meetup the other day that said, I just joined the program, and it was Neil's episode where Neil was on the podcast that was the video that got me to say, I'm getting off the fence, I'm doing this. And so you don't know who will resonate with you. Not every one of our members that we had long form interviews might resonate with you, but watch a load of them and just see who you feel like, if they can do that, I can do it too. Like, their background's not dissimilar to mine, or I think I could actually even do it better than them. And if they're succeeding at this, just imagine what you could do. So we're very proud of all of our members, and they're all from different backgrounds. They're all from different starting positions, but what they all have in common is they are action takers. They took action and they committed. And so I think that's the secret.
Are you enjoying the podcast? We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment or a review and we might feature it in an upcoming episode. And for detailed show notes and resources, visit dropshipunlocked.com/podcast. If you found value in any episode of this podcast, please could you take just 10 seconds to leave us a quick 5-star review on your favorite podcast app? It helps us more than you can imagine. And who knows, you might just hear your comments read out on the show. Thanks for being a part of our community. Your support helps us keep delivering new episodes to you every week.
Now, it's that part of the episode where we like to answer a question from listeners, because we like to know what's on your mind when you're listening to these episodes. So if you've had something pop up today and you thought, I'd love to know what their thoughts are on this and that, then simply comment beneath the YouTube video version or wherever you're watching this video. We'll pick it up and it may get featured in an upcoming episode. Now, this week, the question has come in from Rob Fraser 2253, and Rob has asked, is there a way for us to watch someone build one of these high-ticket dropshipping businesses from scratch?
Yeah, thank you for your question, Rob. And I'm very glad you asked it, because I recorded a 3-part series on YouTube where I complete a new store from scratch. And I recorded every part of the process along the way. So if you go over to YouTube now and you search for Dropship Unlocked, I started a new dropshipping business from scratch. If you search for that, you'll see the video right there. It's a 3-part series. And that's a great example of like someone actually building one of these high ticket dropshipping businesses, myself. If you want to see one of our members and how they've done it, you can actually see an existing store that's generated over £100,000 in sales that uses the home turf advantage model that James and I went through a live store review call, breaking down what they've done well, but where it could also be improved. So this is like a sneak peek into one of the sessions that we do for our members inside the program. So if you search for, on YouTube, Dropship Unlocked, reviewing a £100,000 Shopify dropshipping store. If you search that on YouTube, you can rewind that if you missed that. You'll find that one too, and you'll be able to watch it. So hopefully 2 great examples there of a store that I've built from scratch and a store that our members have built from scratch as well.
Absolute gold. I had a friend say to me recently that he watched that 3-part series and went from being a complete beginner to having a niche validated and a store built ready to run ads. So incredible the power of those videos, that channel, that series that's on the channel now. So thank you, Lewis. Great videos to go and watch after this video today. But we're first going to highlight a recent review that we've had for the podcast, because we love to give you a shout out if you give us some love on this podcast. And we have a recent review from Ethan Dalolio 04 for sharing your thoughts. And he said, "Love it, fellas. Keep doing you."
Thanks so much for your review, Ethan. Glad to hear that you've been enjoying the podcast. If this episode today resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from it. Perhaps share it with them on social media. Your recommendation helps us grow our community, but it also helps us to continue delivering valuable content to you. So a quick share could make a big difference to someone you know.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Dropship Unlocked podcast. We hope you are leaving with new insights and inspiration to fuel your entrepreneurial journey.
To kickstart your e-commerce business, head over to dropshipunlocked.com/start. It's the perfect place to start and get access to resources that will help you build your business from the ground up.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more episodes packed with strategies, tips, and success stories. Plus, if you enjoyed this episode today, a 5-star review would mean the world to us, and you might even get a shout out on the next episode.
Thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today. We can't wait to bring you more insights on the next episode of the Dropship Unlocked podcast.